fasting insulin, like that's probably my #1 favorite lab on the planet, because that goes out of whack, you know, possibly 5 years before your A1C goes out of whack. And so we can figure out if you're headed towards metabolic disease considerably earlier if your fasting insulin is elevated.
And what would be elevated?
So I would say anything above 10 would probably, I would consider elevated. You want to get as close to 5, if not below 5.
In a fasted state.
In a fasted state, you know, I would try to aim anywhere between 2 and 4, ideally. But around 5 is not bad either. But yeah, I mean, I see people that have normal A1Cs and a fasting insulin of 19, and it's like,
you know the train wreck's coming.
Exactly. But that same person would be sent home by their primary care doctor, and they say everything looks good. You know?
And when you have these elevated insulin levels too, you tend to see triglyceride levels follow, because you know that insulin is barring that a little bit of that fatty. It's blunting that capacity to use you know, fat as an energy source.
Right.
And so it builds up, and one of the first places it builds up in the blood. And I would argue that there is a much higher correlation between elevated triglycerides and elevated cholesterol than elevated cholesterol on its own, right?
Correct.
I mean, these hypertriglyceridemia, which I don't know that there's a really good pharmacological solution to, but there's really good lifestyle solutions to,
Right.
you know, precedes a lot of these cardiovascular risk markers.